morning, everybody. It is a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning here at the Mulder compound, Mulder headquarters, whatever you want to call it. It's beautiful. Scraper is back. Big excavator got dropped off last night. They are stripping topsoil back there. They had found an area that was deep with topsoil, so they're trying to get down to the clay back there. So there's a pretty big hole back there. So they brought that in for that, and then I believe they brought it in for one of the ponds in the back where they're gonna be digging clay out of for the parking lot and building pad. So that's really cool. Yesterday they just did some more. They did some more dozing here. Can't remember what I showed in the last episode. I don't think I filmed anything yesterday. So yeah, they stripped this sub base down right here and pushed it over here where it needed to go. And like I said, now they're getting that back corner down to subgrade. And yeah, so and so those of you that don't know, if you've never seen anything or done anything like this, you have to, in our area, most of the time we have a foot to 18 inches, sometimes less, sometimes more, of topsoil on everything. And so you don't want to have to you don't want to build on top of that. You have to build on the clay. You need to take all the organic matter off, all the topsoil. Take all that off. So you use the topsoil for going over the top of clay when needed, or you use it for bottom of the ponds or whatever, depending on if you need clay or not. So we are getting all the clay off of where the parking lot goes and where the building pad goes and stuff. So that's, in case you didn't know that, you need to be building on the clay. We don't have rock here. This is Northwest Indiana. We don't have like bedrock, or we don't have to hammer things or like they do on, say, the East Coast and stuff. So it's a lot different here. There's not near as much rock in the ground, unless you have a guy that buries it. But anyways, man, it looks like he's got a pretty big cut of topsoil back there. Holy cow. Which honestly, it's good and it's bad, because we'll use the topsoil, but also, like, that means they have to do more work. But the more topsoil we dig out, that means the more clay we can borrow from the bottom of the ponds and then backfill with the topsoil if we need to, which every time I save one load of topsoil, every time we dig out a load of topsoil, it saves me $300, because I don't have to import a load of sand or clay onto the property. So if that makes sense. So I'll get my drone up and kind of show you guys roughly where things are right now, and then I got to get to work, and I'll try and update more later. There's a lot of stuff going on now. Digging a borrow pit for clay to get the parking lot at the correct subgrade. They ended up finding a big low spot, a big spot that was really deep with black dirt in that back corner. 3 feet of black dirt, so that was kind of unexpected. Not kind of, it was. Which is a bummer because that means we need to use more clay from the borrow pit for that instead of for this. But it is what it is. So we'll see how much they end up using for that parking lot, and if we need to get more, if we have any extra from the borrow pit to put here. So there's a lot of topsoil over there. It's not really topsoil, it's got mixed with all kinds of junk, rock and concrete and stuff that the old owner had buried. So we'll be able to backfill the pond with that and use the clay for what we need the clay for. So crazy. This is so crazy. That thing is cutting topsoil and dragging it over there to the good topsoil pile. And then they're loading clay in here, dumping it here, and the bulldozer's pushing it out. So sick. So sick. Oh, they got themselves a big old borrow pit there. They found some really good clay down here in a hole. So we used some of the silty clay in here for the parking lot, but then down below that they found some great clay for the building pad. So they're digging a hole for that, trucking it over here for the building pad, and I am so happy to see this because every load of clay that comes out of that hole saves us a lot of money. So very good, because then we don't have to import anything. We're not putting the concrete under the building pad. A lot of people have been asking me about that. That's not going under the building pad. The clay is going under the building pad, plus an overgig of about 10 feet. Clay, this is just to build up under my approach that comes up like this. So, all right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I don't know if I had done a introduction on any of the other videos that I took. There might be some other ones from before. I don't really know. I've kind of lost track of what I videoed and when I was here and everything else. But there's been a lot going on today and yesterday. Like a lot. So what happened was they stripped all this off and then found a lot of nice clay. A lot of the nice clay for the first 5 feet was silty, which is like that pile right there. That got spread out in the parking lot. The rest of that will go that way. And then they got into some really nice clay for the building pad. And there was a hole this morning from here all the way to where that pile is, 12, 15 feet deep at least. And they got all that clay up on the building pads. I think the building pad is now, I think they put it roughly 18 inches to 2 feet on the building pad, which is phenomenal. And then now they're backfilling it with overburden or too much topsoil that's over there by the excavator and backfilling this whole area. Which this is going to be a retention pond in here, so I don't need I can't do anything with the area anyways. So now what they're going to do is once they get that pile where the excavator is over there, they're going to get that back a little more. They're going to do another borrow pit on that side and dig this way, and hopefully find more clay for the building pad as well. And if we are able to find what we found here over there, that is going to be absolutely phenomenal for the building pad, and will ultimately save me a bunch of money, which is really great. So yeah, I'm just really happy about that. This whole thing is pretty darn overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, but it's any amount of clay that we can dig out of this property and get onto this building pad or into the parking lot is a huge blessing and ultimately saves me money. So just crazy the amount of dirt that they've moved in the last week, because after today they've worked here a whole week. They did find just a massive amount of topsoil over there. Just a massive amount. Way more. 3 or 4 feet. It's kind of sucks. Did not want to have that, but it is what it is. So yeah, there's like 20 feet off the property line, and then there's a small retention pond, and then it tapers up. I think it's 25 or 20 feet to our parking lot. So unfortunately, this whole back section, which is I think, I don't know, 50, 60 feet, I can't build on. I have to have this pond here, which really stunk, but it is what it is. There's no choice. And you know, we'll landscape it and whatever, I don't know, whatever we do with it, it is what it is, but you don't get a choice, you know, that's what you have to do. So yeah, lots of earth moving has been going on. That's pretty much what the whole story is. So looking awesome. That's your Thursday update here. Well guys, it has been a crazy morning here at the property. Our entire millings pile is gone. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe how fast these guys move stuff. The entire millings pile has been moved into our parking lot today. It's going to be really hard to grasp this, so I'm sure I'll have drone shots after this. But my guys have been working here today. The guys actually absolutely dominated this week on jobs, and so I can't start the next one till Monday, and so we are able to spend the day here working. So they're scraping up a big section of old millings that were here that can't be here anymore, and we're able to reuse those in the parking lot back here. And they're using it underneath the brand new millings. But look, this entire pile is gone. This was here this morning. Unbelievable. I want to get in this semi's way, but we have a huge parking lot. This is this is ginormous. Now I'm like, holy cow, this parking lot is way too big. What's crazy is this parking lot has to still go all the way up to the building there. This is all parking lot now, and it also has to go that way another 60 feet, which we're gonna run out of millings for that, but that's okay. We'll keep waiting for them, and at some point, hopefully they come. I know I've called the local people that do asphalt millings and told them what I'm looking for, and they all know, so. Insane. So this clay pile is getting moved in the back corner over there, and the parking lot goes back all the way over to here. Walk you to the back edge over here. Stay out of their way. So we're able to dump a bunch of the millings that my guys are digging up. They're dumping them here, and we're using this as another sub base kind of thing. It's all millings as well, stone mixed in and whatever. But basically my parking lot comes to about right here, roughly. Goes to that tree, so this will all be parking lot over here as well, which I don't think there's gonna be enough millings to get to here. But then this whole pile of clay is getting moved over there. They're starting to bring black dirt back into where the pond was, where they did the borrow pit. And yeah, I can't believe what they do in one day. It's just unbelievable. So this is just so cool. So basically what it is they dig down to the clay, and we're putting 12 inches of millings on everything. And for those of you that don't know, this is old asphalt that gets ground up on roads, and then people have to get rid of it. So all the millings that were here, they were all here when I bought the property. So I think there was about 1,900 yards is what I measured that pile at one time. And so that's what it took to do all of this. And I probably could use that same amount still. So I'm just hoping that we can find it, and we will as time goes along. It doesn't need all happen today, so I'm already blown away with how fast this has gone. So much action today. Incredible. What's up, guys? It's Monday morning. Monday, what is it, June? I don't know what the date is, June 18 maybe? No, June 16? I don't remember. Anyways, it's Monday. And guys are gonna be here soon to get started for the day, and I just wanted to wrap up this video, I guess, fully. I think it's a good spot to start, so there is a lot that has gone on here in the last 7 days. And nobody's here this morning. I didn't know if they would be here this morning. Nobody told me if they were or not, but yeah, it's been really dry here. It's been really great for this work. I'm assuming they might do some sheep's footing on this pad to do a little more compaction here, because this is in really good shape now for all this clay that they brought in here. I'm walking on the building pad right now. And then Saturday, somebody was here and they compacted all this concrete fill right here. See all this concrete fill? They tracked over that and compacted that down really good. So that looks good. We still, on where I'm walking right now, still needs to go up 4 feet. So we're still looking for clay. And I don't think I walked over here. I gotta check something. I don't think I walked over here at the end of the day last week on Friday when I was walking around a little bit, so you could see what has happened here. They have, like, right here is one of the back edges of the pond. The pond is like, it's literally like right here. It's not very big, and then it slopes up to the building. So they got some of this clay in here that they used, that they spread out so it could dry out a little bit. And so it was good. And he had something wrong on his dozer, a bushing or something that had gone bad, and so he couldn't do a ton of dozing. So they just roughed some things in at the end of the day on Friday. There's also a bunch of piles of dirt over there that are going to get graded out, which we could walk over there and check that out. But so yeah, this is the bottom of a pond right here, but then this comes up like this, up to, like I said, 3 or 4 feet above that concrete. So there's just a small pond in here that will get much more dialed in later. But things dried out a lot over the weekend, which is wonderful. There was a wet spot right here that was kind of water that was getting pushed out from that from the borrow pit that they had dug. You can still see it's a little wet right here, but yeah, it's a little wet, but it's okay. And then I think there was a wet spot back in this corner that we'll see if it dried out as well. We dug a borrow pit in this back corner, and the clay ended up being no good, which was a huge bummer because we were hoping to have more clay, but there just wasn't. So all these piles here are going to get graded out here and smoothed out and pushed into the corner. They did dig out all this area down to clay, which is wonderful. Our bin pad goes about, I want to say it goes like right here, this section. So they got all this topsoil dug out of here and hauled over here. Climb up on top of this pile. Oh yeah, that's dried out back there. So there was water sitting back in there. But this is all going to get spread out in here. And we're just kind of losing some of this junky dirt back here. And then then the pond kind of comes this way and it kind of scallops around this way a little bit. So I don't know if that tree needs to get removed, but I don't know. But so that, again, that just gets spread out, and then a pond gets dug through there. And then these logs and all this stuff is getting hauled out of here. And this topsoil and this pile, which there's some junky stuff on top and then nicer stuff on the bottom. Some of this is going to get used for the pond banks back here. And then some of it is just going to stay here for us to screen, which is good. So just a beautiful morning, quiet before my crew gets here, and I just wanted to kind of wrap up the end of this video for you guys. I'll try not to fall walking down here, but we are in really, really good shape. So I think overall, I would say the site had more topsoil than we thought. I guess the clay on the surface, the first foot of clay was decent. Below that is silty, and we couldn't use a ton of it. I mean, we got a good bit on the building pad, but we were hoping for like a ton of clay. But it's all good. It's all good. Everything's gonna work out. And now we have this amazing parking space here, which is just insane to see that this whole, I mean, literally from here to those containers was all millings last week. And now we have a giant parking lot, so it's pretty awesome. So guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. I hope you guys have a good week, and we'll catch you on the next one.